Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. We have a lot to talk about today, and we have a special guest. So grab a beverage. Hopefully you're wearing something comfy. Smash that like, and let's get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, stand-up comedian and pop culture vulture. Joleen Lunzer here for another No Offense, All Offense. Today is a special one because we were able to yesterday successfully bully Mims, aka Make It Make Sense, into joining us today to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I'm sure a couple tangents we will definitely go on. So smash that like, you guys. Sound off in the live chat, but hitting the like is the best way to let YouTube know that we are live and get people in our fun live chat with the Lean team. So it's a free way to support the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're on our way to 50K. That's my goal. We're a little far away, but we're in the 40s. Okay. So 50 should be around the corner. And if you want to support the channel further, you know the drill. You can always send a super chat while we're live. You can send a super thanks after the video post. If you're looking for exclusive bonus content, check out my YouTube membership or my Patreon. All the links are in the description, and I'm sure Ahmad will drop that for you. Or you can hit me up on the Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. You don't have to do any of those things, but if you feel so inclined, it is appreciated. I dropped Mims, if you're not already a subscriber to his channel, I dropped his link here, you guys. I think Mims is on his way to like 1 million or something. I don't know. He's on his way to like 200,000, 300,000 subs. He's killing it. Coverage of Diddy, so many things. He still, he has covered a lot of big stories in Bravo. He breaks stories. He has awesome interviews, connections. He's got the scoop. So you can come here for the laughs. You can go to Mims for the scoop and the laughs. And he's going to join us today to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So without further ado, my friend Mimsy, how you doing, friend?
What's up? That was an introduction.
Yeah. Was it bad?
No, it was a good one.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Well, I remember when you were just a little baby channel, and you are just a hard worker, and you just skyrocketed, and you continue to grow. What are you on? Like, you're getting into 200,000, 250,000 subscribers?
I'm like,
You're close.
yeah, I'm close.
Mims is huge.
I'm like 22 people away.
Oh,
Let me tell you something that's funny that people do not know about my relationship with Busy and Joleen. As a subscriber, I liked what Joleen and Busy were doing. I can't remember how many people they had in their chat, but I had never seen so many people watching somebody live, and they were covering the messiest shit. I'm sorry, can I curse on your channel?
fuck yeah.
Okay. We were covering the most messy content, and they would stop in the middle to promote smaller content creators. And I was like, wait, you can be a good person and messy on the internet at the same time. And I always credit them for part of the reason why I'm messy. And well, thank you guys.
Yeah, let's get Mims to hit his goal. Sorry.
No,
Mims.
that is part of the reason why I always credit them, because I was like, I experienced YouTubers before, and it's like a very cutthroat thing. But Joleen and Busy literally took the time to watch other content creators and shout them out and send people to their channel if they thought they were funny or of value. So I thought that was dope.
Thank you. Well, I feel lucky that I was friends with Mims before the fame, and so now he's stuck with me. And
they won't tell you I was kind of like a producer behind the scenes.
Yes, you were a producer for us behind the scenes, and you joined us on a live, a few of them, before you were even a content creator.
Before they allowed people to come on their live.
We didn't really allow, because especially Busy, he was like, no, but we made an exception for Mims, and obviously everyone knows why. I mean,
Busy learned from Wendy Williams. Never let anybody take your mic. Busy will fill Busy will fill a room with Busy. That's all. Busy is a whole thing. So
and when you have Busy, you really don't need anybody else. I mean, he's the show.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, thanks for
before
saying
we-
that. That was so nice.
No, it was actually the truth. Before we get into this, what do you think about as a content creator? Honest thoughts on TikTok.
Oh my God. It's hard for me because I know I need to be over there. I know I need to be creating. I know I need to do the damn thing, but YouTube is where it's at as far as content creators making money, as far as just I just think it's a better platform, but I understand the value of TikTok, but I am not making enough over there. And it almost feels like it's not the same because here you get to like know the people. Like I feel like I know my audience. I get to chat with them. TikTok is so quick and everything is, and then everyone is doing that thing where you like battle each other, but really you're just convincing people to give you money. Not to put salt on anyone's game. We're not saying I'll never do it, but you basically are like, hey, we got to beat this guy. So give me your money so I can get little like eggplants to pop on the screen and kitty cats in this time frame. And so we can beat them. And it's like, but what does the audience win other than just you guys going, come on, what content are they? It's confusing.
I have mixed emotions. As a content creator, I do feel like everybody deserves a right to continue to make money.
Yes.
Absolutely. Do I think that TikTok is ushering in fast, nonsensical shit all the time? So I'm torn. I think two things can be true at once. I think the Chinese government does not allow their people to consume TikTok and things like that because they're busy having them, learn and be advanced. But I do think the other part to that is I could see America wanting a part. TikTok is probably spying on us. But Twitter we have somebody controlling the media who is now in the presidential cabinet. So I could see two things being true at the same time. Are they spying on us? Probably. Are they making us dumber? Probably. But this is America and you have the right to be dumb.
Yep. We take pride in being dumb. Okay.
You have the right to be dumb. But I do think part of that censorship is they would love for that to be sold to somebody, an American. I think billionaires like to see, billionaires make money. And if Elon could be a part of the cabinet and stopping people from talking about the Democrats and promoting Republicans, I don't want to see a content creator lose out on what has become a successful career because the government,
So are they still talking about if it doesn't become American owned or something, they're going to get rid of TikTok? Is that still a conversation?
No, they had a year. Like they literally had a year to figure this out.
And they haven't figured it out.
He won't sell it. I believe that they're probably spying on us. Absolutely.
Everybody is though. If you look at, just having I don't want to say the name because it'll trigger people's.
End-up said it. My iPhone spies on me all the time.
Yeah. Just like my Alexis, I'll call it. And then all of a sudden, Chell and I were testing it and we were saying, wow, we would really like a cat scratch tower, a big cat scratch tower. And then a few days later, it's like, I have a suggestion, this cat scratch tower has went on sale. And you're like, oh, she's listening to me. So yeah, we've kind of given away our rights every time we do these terms and conditions. And I just scroll down to the end and go, accept, because
won't let you surf whatever you're looking for without it.
Yeah, I can't make my silly videos unless I do that. So I see where you're going. I didn't know you were going that way about TikTok, but yes, it will be I feel bad for the content creators that might lose out, who have made if this was happening to YouTube, I'd be devastated.
This is definitely a thing because it just hit the press a couple hours ago.
Okay, so
they lost appeal.
Oh shit. See, I'm behind on the news. I woke up, had a meeting with my writing partner and did makeup and fed my dogs. And then I didn't any news. I'm very ignorant to that. So thanks, Mims, for bringing this story.
What you guys don't know, I'll let you guys in on some of the background of this. So I look horrible from here down. I don't match most times. I might be in like my gym shorts. I've never done like the fully naked thing, but I don't look great. And Joleen looks like she belonging to the movie Clueless today. Like she has a whole outfit, guys.
I don't. I literally am wearing boxer shorts.
Oh, I
with
thought
this.
it was an outfit.
No.
I thought that was okay. I thought it was.
No, it's my sleepy shorts. But thank you. Did you see my white legs? And I have socks on.
I thought you looked like you were from Clueless. That's the whole point.
I have my knee-high socks on and my vampire legs. No, literally, these are my sleepy shorts, and I just put my, top on.
Can I say one more thing about the TikTok
Yeah.
stuff? When I look through the comments, most people feel like TikTok is the truth. So there is a section of TikTok that is like conspiracy theorists that have been able to kind of like really survive and thrive in that space. So people feel like because they can get their conspiracy theories on TikTok, and TikTok is just so forward thinking, although they're also on Instagram and YouTube, that the government doesn't want the truth out. And I think all of those things could be true. If TikTokers are putting out stuff about very famous people, because they can on TikTok, and there's no, you're not really a slave to ad revenue. It could be. It could be that it's making us dumber. It could be that they're spying on us, or it could be all of those things. I don't wish that on any content creator, though.
I don't either. And yeah, I think it's interesting with TikTok, what it markets to, just like any platform. I know, like my little nephew, he had this, like, his mom let him have like a little account that she monitored, but you're not going to be able to see all the time. It wasn't public or anything. He could just he likes these ones that cover games or something, like Roblox or whatever the hell. And when he visited us 2 summers ago, he was like talking a lot about Jesus and hell and all these. And I'm like, why is he? And he was like very scared. Like Jesus was a scary thing. And I was like, no, Jesus isn't a scary person. Jesus is like, he's known to be like a very nice man and cares about children and all those things. And I go, let me see your tab. And then I was looking at the TikTok, and it was all these like content creators who were like, if you don't like this, you don't love Jesus and you'll go to the depths of hell. And it was one after another, like AI generated plus like content creators. And so he was getting, rather than having his family talk about it or, just like a proper education on faith or religion or whatever you want to say, he was getting TikTok scaring him into making him believe that Jesus was like this angry guy who was watching down on him like Santa. And if you behave bad, and it's like, okay, well, part of that, I guess you could say, biblically, there's a little bit that, they're like,
how old is he?
At the time he was like 5.
That's a problem.
6. Yeah.
That's a problem. And I think that's why China does not allow, not that China is the most free thinking place. We're not going to say that. They're probably just as censored as like Russia. But the point being, there is a direct correlation to everybody having their hand in their phone and TikTok being the embodiment of 60-second or less content. So it's like, sorry, TikTok.
Well, and that's why TikTok, it does say you have to be, I don't know, 14 or 16, because my little niece who's 10, she keeps getting her accounts taken away. And I'm like, good, because I don't want any young kids on TikTok. I'm like one of those. I do, like you were saying, like I do think the age limit is just too much information too quickly. This like social media coming at kids. Obviously they're all going to want to be on it. And obviously it's going to be really hard for parents to monitor, this sort of thing. You really got to be on it. People are busy. It's a lot, but it's all this information being thrown at you, and your algorithm basically is defining your whole perspective of the world now. So whatever algorithm you're in is like all your beliefs, all your everything, which is kind of scary.
Okay, and we can move on after this. So Jaguar Wright called into my show. She's like this person who is, famous for all the Diddy stuff. And she was the first person who had a connection to Diddy and Jay-Z to expose them on, I think, Storm and Rose channel. And it was millions and millions of views because nobody had ever said these things. And so she was on and she was telling me that she was meeting up with some lady named Liz Crokin. And I was like, the conspiracy theorist. She was like, she's not a conspiracy theorist. And I was like, that's what her bio says, because I remember covering her. She used to work for like Page Six or some like in Touch or something like in
Mhm.
the 2010s when In Touch and Perez Hilton ruled the world.
Oh my God, those days.
And now she's conspiracy theorist is in her bio, but people don't necessarily like being called conspiracy theorists. I guess.
Mhm. I guess not.
I guess.
Well, that's like people fall into like whether they're conspiracy theorists or they have like they call it the right wing grift or the left wing grift of, people just kind of targeting that market, knowing it's going to be. I see a lot of comedians head that way. They'll head kind of like the right wing grift because it's, there's a big population of people that want content from that
You're
perspective.
talking about
From
like
that.
Candace Owens without saying Candace Owens?
What'd you say?
Are you saying Candace Owens without saying Candace Owens?
Sort of, but even a lot of stand-up comedians, who now normally you wouldn't see comedians go like, it's interesting, and they'll head that way because if I right now decided to go on like a right-wing grift, let's say I wanted to go pro-Trump, blah blah blah, I would make bank. But unlike some of these comedians, I mean, obviously there's comedians who believe in that and that's who they like and that's their right. They can go create content, but there's a lot of them who don't, and they're just doing it because they know the money's there and they haven't been successful in LA and they haven't gotten the things they wanted out of comedy. So they're putting all their eggs into that basket. And that to me is fascinating and scary because it's like, you'll sell out that quickly it's a lot of money, but in the end, like you gotta look yourself in the mirror and know that you don't believe any of that shit, Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like we could just keep talking about this stuff, Mims, but we do have to get to, well, first of all, we're going to talk Salt Lake City, you guys, because in my opinion, the Salt Lake City Housewives this season 5 of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is an almost, I don't want to say perfect, but a damn near, especially the second half. We're now going to talk about episode 12, has been a perfect representation of what is entertaining about Housewives. I guess I shouldn't say perfect, but it's close. And I know you and I have talked about this a lot, Mims, about how much longer is Bravo going to kind of last? They've saturated the market with Housewives franchises. The revamps they tried haven't worked. They're seeing numbers dropping, things like that. But Salt Lake City, I think a lot of people sleep on this on this franchise, but it's so good. But you see, you don't get the same numbers you did. We used to get talking about Bravo content. I think less people are kind of interested, especially in the housewife shows.
I think you have a very valid point. What's great about Salt Lake City is they can have arguments about body count. I'm upset at you because you left my house after I put you out. That is technically old school Atlanta.
Yes.
Having like a whole season of being angry because you didn't let me in their party. And I showed up with a film crew and you still didn't let me in. And I changed for this party outside in a Target parking lot with my friend who was a mistress.
You nailed it. That's why I am loving it. I think because it is. I didn't even think about that old school Atlanta vibes. There's so many correlations between old school Atlanta and new school Salt Lake City.
I think the problem with Salt Lake City is they don't have an identifiable star. There's nobody on the franchise that
Lisa Barlow, right? I think Andy is pushing her as the star of the season.
I think she has made a name for herself among marketers and advertisers who will definitely want to advertise. So if the money's there, it doesn't matter if the views aren't. So, but Lisa is not necessarily interesting. She's flawed, which makes her a good housewife, but she's not interesting. Like she loves herself, A1. But in terms of the most beautiful, it's not her. In terms of somebody who's funny and can read you, it's not her. She's not the face of the show. Jen Shaw would have been the face of the show because she was just that crazy. But, you can't really have an actual fraud.
A granny robber.
To that extent. And but yeah, they don't have a star. And that's the only reason why they're not further along.
I think a lot of people are looking to Bronwyn to be like the new star. Are you feeling her so far?
I feel like Bronwyn is probably headed to divorce.
Right.
within the next couple seasons. So I don't know. I feel like when you have her amount of money in the bank, why are you coming here? And your husband is clearly uncomfortable with what you're doing on television, knowing what he was getting into. What might save them is if they don't have a prenup.
They don't.
He might just stick it out. But I don't know why she joined the show, or I don't know why. Maybe she joined the show without his like husbandly consent. You know, like maybe it's one of those things where the wife just said, "I'm doing this, and we don't have a prenup, and I don't really care what you said. You can film or not."
Could be. I don't see Bronwyn doing that just because she seems to kind of cower to him in a lot of ways because he's a big old Krabby Patty. But I agree with you. I think the marriage is headed nowhere good. And I
Humpty Dumpty body and probably large white old Hanes underwear isn't turning.
not old.
Is that not turning her on?
It's okay if like he doesn't have to be attractive, but if he's a kind, nice, respectful person to his wife, but it's more of a transactional relationship. He's rich. I
he
get
lets her decorate the house with clown type shit.
with dog shit.
And does not care as long as she stays in line and she can get multiple noses and her daughter is cared for the rest of the life. But I mean, so you don't think that she's attracted to the Hanes white grandpa underwear and the Humpty Dumpty body?
No, I really don't. And I think the attitude just makes it worse. And I think we might be seeing kind of a Kelsey Grammer effect where you drop off your wife on a show and then you're out the door. You already got one foot out. You're like, I'm going to drop this bitch off over here and you can get your own money and good luck. And it just looks like it's headed that way. And I know that, you know, Bronwyn was an early favorite, but I'm getting, and I've mentioned this, I had Bravo and Blaze on the other night. She impromptu little came up because she had like an issue with Bronwyn. And so she kind of explained it and it was really interesting. But the issue was I'm just paraphrasing what she said here, but there was an after show, right? And in the after show, it was mentioned by, I believe, Lisa Barlow, that Bronwyn's, the father of her daughter, their family, you know, they were never involved. And that's been a big part of Bronwyn's storyline is how hard that was and how, you know, much like many women and especially Mormon women, you get pregnant while you're in college. They blame the woman suffers all the consequences, gets kicked out of school, and he gets to live his life. And then she said, you know, he wasn't really involved. And then sadly, a few years after that, I believe he passed away. Now, they're saying that on this after show, it was mentioned by maybe Lisa Barlow or something that his family is saying, no, she never told us about that the daughter. And we thought she miscarried. And so Bravo and Blaze, I believe, saw that and then posted about it. And then immediately, according to her, they took that segment out of the after show. And then Bronwyn started coming at her like, how dare you kind of, you know, use that information. It's not true. Because again, it's only his family saying.
We don't even know we
don't know what's true.
And Lisa said this on the after show?
I think that's what she said. You guys correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I believe it was Lisa. It was Lisa and maybe Brittany who were talking about it because Lisa is the one who, you know, knew Bronwyn's the family of Bronwyn's father's daughter. Yeah. Daughter's father. Yeah. So, but we're supposed to, I mean, they're saying in this season that that Lisa Barlow had no idea that this family she knew was the family of Bronwyn's daughter's dad. So, and that Bronwyn had just showed her a photo and Lisa was like, oh my God, I know that.
And talk to them because you were mad at them to get opposition research.
Probably. And then
in the black community, that would get you popped.
That would get you popped. Like, well, also in parts of the white community, like Lauren from Utah. Lala. Do you want to get popped? That's what she does. You want to get popped in Utah, bitch?
Opposition research that could hurt my child and I have money, I'm going to reach out to Bravo and say, take that unfounded rumor down because there's no way to prove that.
Right. I mean, I would, if I was Bronwyn, ask them. It looks sus that it got taken down because then it's going to lead people to question. But I would be like, why are you putting that up? Because yeah, you can't prove it. It's just what Bronwyn says versus what his family says. And his family could be saying that just to save their own asses because on TV, it looks like they never wanted anything to do with this beautiful girl.
I think Lisa is trash for that, but I also think that this is par for the course with Bravo now. You don't have people who are actually friends or knew each other outside of the show. So everybody's just trying to get one up, and they think that this kind of stuff, which could hurt the children, and Lisa's all about her children, is what people want to see, when in actuality, we want to see the light stuff where Meredith has some octopus bangs and shows up to Mary's house of curious mysteries mansion. You know what I mean? That's kind of what we want to see. But Lisa is trying to produce the show. Like, I know a lot of wealthy people. Nobody is saying they lost their $60,000 ring. They would say, I lost the ring that my husband gave me, and oh my God. Yes. She is trying too hard to project wealth. And technically, you live in kind of like a normal looking house, just to be honest with you. It's a nice home, and I'm sure in a nice neighborhood, but nobody else is talking about, I bought my son a Range Rover and I'm driving it. Moms don't usually buy their children Range Rovers and then drive it like their own.
Yeah.
My kids are setting up businesses. Most rich kids have businesses and LLCs set up.
Right?
Like, Lisa is perfect for the show.
She is. Now, do you think, Bronwyn, this is the nature of what can happen when you bring your child into the show and you use it as part of your storyline, this relationship she didn't have with her dad, that of course the family might sound off and they might have their own version.
You open them up for that, but I don't think Bronwyn could, considering that she married an old man and he's not the father of her child. So she's going to have to give her story. Could she have left it as he's not in the life and he's dead now? Sure.
Yeah. Which probably would have been the best thing to do, because I hate when they do that
for a non-housewife. If there is something problematic.
But do we want, even when it's about the kids, like, I mean, I know we got Mary Cosby's son's drug struggle.
She didn't give a damn about those children. What she cared about was making her much older husband look good. That's what that was about. That had nothing to do with the dead man. He's gone. Now I'm on television. So I'm going to make my old Humpty Dumpty husband look great.
So I see what you're saying. He stepped up to the plate. He was there for her for the past 10 years.
Why would I care about the man who's gone? And
why even bring him up? You know what I mean?
Because it shows that I was the doting single mom who married well and made a life for me and my child.
Yeah.
And now I'm producing shows like Camille Grammer was, like Kelsey dumped her. I know her daughter is like 17, 18 maybe. Even at that age, it's like, can she really consent to the extent of the information that's being let out that she's gonna have to live with for the rest of her life, and the drama and the criticism that'll bring? I don't know if I would. I just don't think, as a fan, I don't need them to kind of exploit their children. I know it's part of Bronwyn's struggle too. It's part of her life because she got pregnant young, and if that bastard was okay, let's be truthful here. Joleen grew up with two parents.
Yep.
I didn't. If my mom wanted to get on television and talk shit about my nothing ass daddy, then I would be like, go for it. Hit him again.
Good point.
Go for it. If Bronwyn is in fact telling the truth about a man who's no longer there and was never there for her child, as a single mom who
that's her story,
probably married Humpty Dumpty to ensure her child was going to have better, then F him. No, I wouldn't give a damn about him or his family.
See, that's why I like talking to you about this, because you give me different perspectives. And obviously, we get this sound effect. Hit him again. Get for me.
I'm just scoot on over and let you whack him. Get him again. Get him for me. Done.
That's where I got that from. That is exactly where I love that you had that.
Well, remember you were like, Jolene, your audience does not know what that was. It you who said that was a busy?
It must be busy, but I was saying it to you before you played it. Before you played
Yes.
it, I was like, wait, that's from Love and Hip Hop. And you
Mhm. Yeah, I think
Hold on.
someone was saying, yeah.
DGF, is your mom Miss Vera? Please put it in the chat if that's DGF.
DGF is one of my mods. She's awesome.
If your mom is Miss Vera DGF, I hit you up on Instagram. We're gonna make it right for Miss Vera, but you need to respond. It's time sensitive. If your mom is Miss Vera, but okay.
Oh, Miss Vera. End Up says the content was up, posted by Bravo. Blaze commented on it, and Bronwyn went in on her. It's Bravo's fault. Had I seen it in real time, I might have also commented. So yeah, so she just told, what happened to her and the hate she received, or the criticism, I should say, she received, and some hate about talking about this and posting it. So Anna says, I don't think Bronwyn knew Lisa had this connection to the family of her child's father. Interesting.
I wouldn't give
it is. Okay. What's happening here?
So
can you share with the class?
Miss Vera DGF's mom turned 95, and DGF has also supported my channel since the very beginning. And so she mentioned that her mom had turned 95. Now, this is what I love about Miss Vera. At some point when I wished Miss Vera a happy 95th birthday, I did not mention her name. I just said happy 95th birthday. And I feel like Miss Vera wanted her name mentioned.
Of course, who wouldn't? You could be talking to anybody.
In the shout out. So you please check your Instagram. I have hit you up when I do my 200 celebration.
Are you there? Did you hit it already? You guys, everyone go sub.
No, I haven't hit it yet, but I'm gonna don't tell her. Actually, just reach out. Respond to the
DGF.
Instagram, DGF.
I love that. That's what Mims, you're so good for. You are really good to your subscribers, and you have done so many things. Like you have reached out, gifted, shouted out, helped people. And that's one of my favorite things about you. You said something you liked about me and Busy, but I really like that about you. And don't give me that cheesy face. It's a very sweet thing you do. You're very philanthropic, and you don't want like credit and shit. You're like a good person, Mims.
No, I'm getting flack for it.
Why?
Because there is a person who, she might have been on your channel too. I know she was around for a while. I know she's done the gambit of all of our channels at some point or another. Her roof collapsed in her apartment, and so she reached out to me, and I was like telling her, maybe we could do a rollout. I think she also reached out to Kempire and Tisa. And I was like, let me know, maybe we could all work together, do a rollout at the same time to let people know. Because even though, it's an apartment, even though she has insurance, they don't pay out. And she had to move out. And the apartment doesn't want to pay. And the apartment's insurance is blaming somebody else. So there's a there's a family of 4 who are, check to check, and they don't have any money, because they've had to move out of an apartment because the apartment collapsed. And I think something hit the husband's spine, and he had to have surgery. And a spine surgery is nothing to scoff at. Like, yeah, like making comments like, we don't need to save everybody. And I was like, I'm not asking you to save anybody.
No, you're saying if you
have a dollar or two,
yeah.
And I just was like, somebody said, we don't need to save everybody. And the other one was like, I have given $8,000 to you YouTubers and your lifestyle. And I was like,
lifestyle?
That's I don't even, what the do you mean my lifestyle in terms of YouTube? How would I need to interpret that? So you feel like I'm going to take a cut or something if I help this family who is out for Christmas and had a roof collapse on them? I can't even imagine what kind of PTSD a child would have from a roof collapse. Like, you're supposed to feel safe where you live.
Yeah.
medical absence is gonna F you up. I mean, there's so many levels to that. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that.
Well, no, I think that speaks to like a larger problem is there are so many con artists and grifters on YouTube, and so many people who what I've learned in my time on YouTube is I never knew people could be as disgusting, honestly, as they can be, and content creators who just blatantly will take people's money, make up illnesses, make up hardships, and it goes to other things. So I think people feel a little disenchanted because they've been burned so many times. But I would think that anyone who's been following you for a while knows that you're so far removed. Yeah.
I bet people, and go to my first videos and see where I was filming. Don't mention it, but go to those videos and see, and you tell me if something about YouTube has me now living in like a penthouse and driving a Ferrari. It doesn't, but I'm just saying, I've never had anybody even suggest that I would take something from somebody who literally is in need in order for me to, like, that was the most ridiculous shit I'd heard. Almost as, okay, sorry. Can we get into Mary Cosby?
No, I totally get it. There was a girl on Vanderpump Rules who was just a one season, and she was started another GoFundMe for her dog, and like made us all really worry, this girl Jo, about her dog who had already lost an eye, who's going to lose another one. But then when people started questioning, like, okay, like the specifics of it, you're asking people for money, like you said, is this, you're going to need a little bit of like proof that this is happening. Plus she had a GoFundMe people found earlier, and she got offended and got really mad, and she was acting like she needed the money to get the dog's other eye removed. And here we sit months and months and months later, no update on it. People gave money and the dog still has an eye. Of course we want to help a dog, but it seems very scammy that you are asking people for their money, but giving very few details, and then getting mad when anyone has questions, you know?
I would be fine with questions. Like, that's why I vet people.
Yeah.
And I question things, specifically with this lady, like, what about insurance? And she explained exactly what, and I'm like, well, I know somebody who had mold in their apartment, and 2 years later, they're still battling it out. Their lawyer is not on contingency. It's not like her and her family are made of money. And there are times where people slip through the cracks. Everybody's not a CEO who just got murked and the world stops to assist them. Sometimes when you are not a wealthy person and stuff happens. So I always try to like do something for a family or two around Thanksgiving or Christmas. Question things. That's really what my channel is about.
But don't accuse that it's some kind of scam right off the bat.
My integrity, like I'm going to take money off the top of somebody in need, is crazy.
Yeah. Especially knowing you. Like I know
what I need to like.
I know people on YouTube who would do that. Mims is definitely not
I haven't
one.
even got, you know how many endorsements I haven't done because I don't want to be like silenced. Like in real life, I could have multiple endorsements presently. I just don't want anybody to be able to say, well, you can't talk about Diddy now because I'm paying you to do this. I'm stupidly not ran YouTube like a business like I should. But one thing I don't like, don't question my integrity, because that's really all that you have. Once you give that up, it's gone. So
yeah.
And if you don't know, shut the fuck up. Like, ask me directly, DM me and say, well, can you find out if they had insurance? Because if they have insurance, it should be paying out, or I have some information on this and all that. But don't like do that in a public space and make people feel like, you know, Joleen knows this. My goal is to eventually have a charity channel, one that we can like change people's lives, like the stuff that Mr. Beast does, where he will give people their eyesight and things like that, and it's all paid for through YouTube. That kind of stuff is awesome to me, not the extra stuff that we've heard about people.
Not whatever Mr. Beast is doing now, but
anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I love that you are continuing to help people, and I hate that people are questioning your integrity. Artist, thank you so much for the first super chat. Artist says, I need to laugh. Thank you, Joleen. It's been a hard couple days. I lost my sister. She passed away yesterday morning. So thank you for making me laugh. Artist, we are sending you so much love, and I'm so sorry for your loss. That's incredibly difficult, but we're really glad you're here, and you're such an important part of the channel. So you guys, I know I've seen you doing it already, but show all your love to artists in the chat, because that's such an incredibly hard loss.
Sorry for
and
your loss.
Yeah. N-Dub says, thank you for the super chat. N-Dub says, love the vibe of this collaboration. Thank you, N-Dub. Thank you. We love having Mims here. Oh, and Nana's here. You got to shout out Nana real quick, Mims, because she has a crush on you.
Nana, I gave up gambling. And I told Joleen, do not tell you what online gambling places I use.
I told Nana about.
Yeah, I don't do gambling anymore.
Good for you.
When you win, it becomes addictive, right? So I stopped. I was like, I won. And then I was like, nope, can't do this anymore, because that's how you get to the next step. Like, you win, and then you just, so anyway, yeah.
They want you to keep wanting more, and like, I can hit more, I can hit more, I can get more. So yeah, I'm not introducing Nana to online gambling, because that would be a whole problem. Oriole says, we all have a crush on Mims. Everyone's got a crush on Mims. And that's just the way it is. Okay. So this episode in particular, we can kind of run through. We're seeing Meredith's bat mitzvah. What did you think of the beginning of the bat mitzvah, when she's arriving in her sleigh like Santa, and everyone, there's already drama off the bat, because you have, Bronwyn and I always forget her name, or Brittany, and then this new Mealy, who we never see, this friend of, and Bronwyn makes the comment that, Angie K, they're coming off their Troop Beverly Hills little camping trip where they never really camped, is saying, I slept with like 10 guys, even though Angie only said, you're dating 3 guys, you're sleeping with 3 guys. So maybe she's claiming that because that's what her and Sean are doing.
So you're saying Sean slept with 10 guys, or Angie?
Angie was saying that was Brittany.
Oh, okay.
Brittany with the corn hair. It's a lot.
No, I did watch the episode. I thought the sleigh entrance was appropriate for Salt Lake City. I'm always amazed, because I don't want to speak for all Black people, but Black people in the cold weather, a good percentage of us don't like it. So when I see these women who are bone in a dress, standing with no sleeves, or their legs will be out and their arms are out, I'm just like, I'm trying to watch them fight, but I'm thinking, how are they not like dying inside?
How do you not have frostbite?
Did you see when they were outside waiting for her? Like, everybody had on these skimpy clothes, and I'm like, nobody's cold at all.
Well, being from Minnesota, I will say you get used to that sort of thing. And I remember going to the club and like running from the car with like a little tank top in the middle of winter. So it's just what you have to do, because you're like, I'm not letting a jacket ruin this outfit. Now that I'm older, I'm like, first of all, not going to the club, and I definitely wouldn't wear a tiny top like that. But I think that.
And you moved to the opposite.
I know, I moved to the opposite. I think that they have like heaters out there and stuff, because Bronwyn's outfit, especially,
it was
like
a two-piece, right?
It was a 2-piece little outfit. I have some pictures here.
I feel like somebody would wear Bronwyn's outfit to their bat mitzvah as the bat mitzvah person.
You think, okay, wait a minute. You think someone would wear this outfit, and they're like, how old are you when your bat mitzvah? Like
15, 16, right? It felt like a 16-year-old girl's outfit.
If it didn't have the low cut, and it didn't have the midriff at like a religious thing, I don't think you'd wear that, right?
I mean, you have like an after party, right? Where like Drake or Nicki Minaj.
Oh, you're talking about like Sweet 16.
Yeah, like the bottom, like, like for after.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if this was not a skirt and pants, and if she had more of a voluptuous chest, this was Britney Spears' outfit from.
It was the VMAs. Yes. It wasn't her.
Looking at the body count, hair. Bronwyn is a 50-year-old woman dressed like a 16-year-old at the after party at somebody's bat mitzvah.
Crazy part is Bronwyn is, I think, younger than me.
Oh, it's that effect of Heather. When you are too, I don't know, like anal about certain things, and her look she's pretty, but it's a very severe look. The dark hair, the makeup, everything is like really severe. Maybe it ages her.
Maybe. I think, shut up. She's not 38.
There's no way Bronwyn is 38.
I gotta look it up. And that no age shame. I'm not trying to age shame her, but
Forget that.
Bronwyn.
If that woman is 30, if that woman is 38, oh my God.
She's 39.
Just as bad.
She's 39.
Wait,
Yeah.
if she's 39 and her daughter is what, 17?
Yeah.
No way. So she had her kid at 12 or 13?
That's the math?
Wait,
I'm
hold
not
on.
good-
Am I wrong?
I'm not good at
No,
math.
23.
So yeah, I was gonna say I think it's early 20s.
23. Sorry.
Both of us are bad at math. Oh my God.
Blame this vitamin water. I'm on a whole new kick. I'm not like really, this is not Casamigos. I'm drinking a lot more water.
Oh, we're on the water kick. I love that for you.
My math is off. I'm sorry.
Because I'm like, I know I'm bad at math, but I don't know if I'm like, I don't know about them, Mimsy. I'm not sure. So they're all kind of meeting out there, and it is, they're waiting for Meredith to show up, and we have one. What'd you say?
That is a hard 39.
Oh,
to be rich. You know what? If once stuff starts to, what did Dolly Parton say? Once stuff starts to sag and droop, I'm gonna pick it right up. I'm not opposed to plastic surgery. I haven't had any yet, but who knows what the future will bring. If she's already on her third nose at 39, then maybe she has a lot of procedures, and that might age you as well.
Yeah, because she's beautiful, but I thought she was at least I thought she was 45. I thought she was around my age. I really did. But maybe that's just me being in denial of how I look too. So I think we're all just.
I think you look younger than her.
See me in natural light, and then we talk.
We haven't seen her in natural light.
That's true, but the lighting in this episode was bad.
We haven't seen any of these in natural light. It is what it is. I think she's very pretty, but it's probably the demeanor that makes her older.
It is, because it is that like Heather Dubrow kind of like, top tier shade, Mary Cosby. She kind of talks like this, like, oh, okay.
When people with no money acquire money, and then they turn into Camille Grammer.
It's new money. It's the new money syndrome.
Camille Grammer was a Yo MTV girl.
She was.
And now you are,
doing her little dance.
Sorry. I'm sorry. 30. We haven't even touched.
Chickenhead PK Dark Face Neely, thank you. Love you too. She is 39. Thank you, Chickenhead. Chicken says you really do look younger than her. I don't think I just thought she's my age. That's really what I thought. So
you're 45?
I'm gonna be 45 in February.
You do look. I mean, part of it is you're only as old as you want to present.
I act like a child, so it helps.
You have a personality that's more like vivacious. Her personality is very stoic and anal,
yes.
Like she only does it in one position.
Oh, okay. And what position do you think it is?
There's only one position that that she's doing it with Humpty Dumpty. What do you think that one position is?
I'm gonna assume she's going top, because him on top is gonna be.
It's absolutely missionary. And if at any point she or Heather Dubrow sweat or her hair gets tousled, she's done. If there is any perspiration or her hair is tousled, she's done.
It's over. I think she's dressing up in these costumes that she picks them up at the airport in. I think they do she said they don't do costume shit, but I'm like, then why are you wearing, Bronwyn, just tell us. It's okay. I would be, because remember we saw this early on. She always shows up to pick him up at the airport in these, and I think they're like kind of a furry people.
A furry?
Like look at this. She's doing them in the mushroom, which, get it, girl.
But I guarantee you she'll be on her back as the mushroom. That's it.
So you're saying missionary, I'm saying I think she would get on top. But then, that is, there's some work to that. So you're probably right. But I just can't imagine the Todd father, Krabby Patty, having intercourse. Chickenhead.
I call him Humpty Dumpty, but I was calling him something else when the show first came on. Who did Star Wars?
George Lucas.
That's what I was calling.
He is kind like George Lucas. Shut up. That's great. I might have to borrow that from you. We gotta pull up a picture of him. He's a little George Lucas-y.
Tell me that this man is not George Lucas. And having her dressed up in these Star Wars type costumes, knowing
Ryan Bailey's like Bernie Sanders when he does this, you know?
A grouchy George Lucas. So
that's so good, Mims. Because yeah, even this little one, a little George Lucas-y. You know, he's the creator of the Palm Pilot.
he probably produces her.
Probably.
Let me get off this woman's sex life. Good luck.
Yeah, he produces her, definitely. Chickenhead, thank you for the super chat. Says it's a missionary when it's mandatory. A missionary when it's mandatory. And any kind of sex probably is going to have to be mandatory. So with Todd Father, the personality alone.
Horrible.
So we have a little drama off the bat. Angie K showing up. Her and Bronwyn aren't talking. Bronwyn's still very upset with Angie K because Angie, told her to shut the F up. And she's like, you tell me to shut the F up. And so now they're just kind of ignoring each other. Then we get a new saying. Have you heard the saying bridge and tunnel? What Lisa was saying about Whitney's nails? Because Whitney's nails had gems on them. And Bronwyn goes, oh, let me see those nails. And then she looked at Lisa. She goes, oh, would you do that, Lisa? Do you do? And Lisa goes, no, I don't put gels on my nails. Like, that's very bridge and tunnel.
I don't know if that's some obscure rich white woman read from Salt Lake City. It's like when she tried to make the Whitney and Heather tornado analogy. What was that? Bad weather.
Oh, bad weather friends or whatever.
This is what I mean about why Lisa is not the queen of the show. She's not quick-witted. I didn't get it. If she would have said, no, I don't like hooker nails, that would have been funny to the point, and you're done. We
would have understood it.
Yeah. I mean, Dorinda had a better one with when she was talking about Sonia being a slut. She was like, yeah, because you something about your Holland Tunnel or something like that.
Yeah, she said that was graphic.
Yeah.
Yep. All the New York people were telling me during yesterday's live that it's an insult that people say in Manhattan. It's like people that have to drive into the city, acting fancy, but really you're just driving into the city. You're not a part of the city. So you're like the Jersey people driving in or something.
When did Lisa buy a Park Avenue penthouse?
That's what people were saying. Like, New York people can say that, but why is she saying that? Now, Lisa is
in a normal house in the suburbs in Salt Lake City,
right?
Like you live in a normal, nice home. It's not even a McMansion.
But she is. Is she from the East Coast though?
She has claimed everything. She's white. She's Jewish. She's a woman sometimes. Like, she's claimed everything. Her husband is 12 different nationalities. And she only wants to describe the ones that are cool to say.
Yeah, she really wants to push like that John Barlow and his, Jewish heritage and stuff. But she made it so that
he practiced Buddhism.
But she looked into his past and without his consent.
His mom was Jewish,
but she's like that. She told Meredith's mom during this episode. She's like, oh, yeah, we just found out that John's family has got, his family's Jewish, and she's like, oh, and what's the mother on the dad's side? Yeah, oh, the mom, she's just like blonde and from Arizona. Mazel tov. Like, she really, and John Barlow didn't want her to look into his like birth family, and I guess it went, according to him, terribly wrong, but she really pushed for it.
He has no backbone.
I know.
Absolutely no backbone.
He's like the opposite of what Todd is. Todd's overbearing, and John Barlow he's very supportive of his wife. You can tell he loves his wife, but there might be times, especially in this case, that he needs to stand up to her and say, no, I don't want, this is my heritage. I don't want to look into that.
I don't want to say that. I'm sorry. I take it back. I don't want to say it.
Okay. Team Ruby said
dominatrix.
What did you say?
She reminds me. Okay, so I know a lot of people.
You know a lot of dominatrixes.
No, I don't know a lot of dominatrix, but I do know that there is a subsection of men who like to be dominated by women, and there's like all kinds of like doms. And Lisa reminds me of like a financial dom.
That's what I
where-
was just gonna say. The only dom I would ever want to be is a financial dom, because basically you're like, you spend that money, you basically dictate to give you their money. That's amazing. That's the sexual part.
I could see him, because there's nothing that she does that's wrong, and clearly she's wrong all the time. Like, I could definitely see him being one of those men who likes a dominant woman, and it works because he has some level of money. So sure, give it to me.
Yeah.
Look into my background. I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay, man. Yes, ma'am. Like, that's
Yes. With her spiked heels, and she's like, now go buy me a Diet Coke. All the Diet Cokes in town. Okay. Yeah, the finance dom, I only learned about that from Euphoria, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. That's the only one I
know a
want to
couple
do.
of sugar babies, and they won't say that they're financial doms, but I'm like,
Hmm.
he did what for you? Okay. It's okay.
You're like, I see what's going on. DGF, thank you for the super chat. Says Jolene and Nana have youthful faces that match their energy. She got it from her mama. Yeah, Nana has such youthful energy, and she has great skin. So I'm grateful that she has such great skin.
Nana is, I don't know if I should say this, but I will.
You should.
Tell your dad to watch out, because apparently Nana is into George Lucas. So she's trying to ensure that you have a trust fund. And if you do get with George Lucas, remember your black child.
Yes. Always remember Mims, remember me, remember all of us.
Well, forget everybody else. If we set you up with George Lucas, you remember us, the ones who happened.
That's true. Remember us. So we go into there's like we see like the whole bat mitzvah. I've never seen a whole bat mitzvah before, so it was very interesting. And we finally get a glimpse of Meredith's like entire family, because her son Reed, I believe her oldest child, is there to support her. And I thought that was really nice. But what did you think of the actual ceremony? There was a lot of tears. There was a lot of, love.
I was really wondering how Reed sounded. Like, did he speak?
He did. He spoke a little bit. I think when Mary Cosby was like, oh, you're a stud, because everyone saw him. They're like, oh, he's a stud.
I did not hear his voice, but I was really trying to see if he talked like Meredith or her other son. I feel
Brooks
like
Marks.
He doesn't talk like that.
I don't think so. Or her daughter. Her daughter kind of talks similar to her. Her mom kind of talks similar to Meredith too. I mean, Meredith is very over the top, like, for my family, me and Soph, I'm here today for my bat mitzvah.
I have these conversations all the time. I think that sometimes people want to emulate somebody or want to emulate their style. And I always use E.J. Johnson as the example. E.J. Johnson is Magic Johnson's son. And Magic and Cookie Johnson, billionaires, but they still have their down-home accent. E.J. Johnson has chosen to sound like somebody's rich grandmother. That's what he chooses. That is the dialect he chooses. Like, that is how he chooses to emote. I feel like Brooks and the sister really like and want to emulate their mom, and that's why that Dorit-ish, rich Connecticut, northeastern, like, I don't know what she has mashed
a hodgepodge
up.
of rich people accents
that she has put together to produce this, but I would be willing to bet that the older son does not speak like them. I was like, oh, please start talking. And he was like, F this. They mic me up. I don't agree to this. I don't want to start a fashion line. My dad gets on my nerves with his annoying jokes. My mom is ridiculous. They made me come to this. Like, that's what I was getting.
He's got like a real ass job and career. And so he's not the person who, I think Seth is like the Big Lots CEO or something. He's like the head of Big Lots or Big Lots, like a certain department.
Not the
Not
way
CEO.
they just choose to rent certain homes and
Not the CEO, maybe the merchandising.
he's like an executive.
Yeah, executive. Or
Probably makes a
something.
few $100,000.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Mary Cosby says, I mean, it's the Airbnb, it's an hour. Like last episode, she was talking about, I got to go visit Meredith. Of course, I'm going to be late. She's in Park City in her Airbnb, like buy a house in Salt Lake, and then I can come see you.
I love Mary. I love Mary. But if you were to put Mary on this show or any show with somebody like Nene or Kenya, what Mary gets away with would have never been possible.
No.
Literally. Mary is extremely hilarious to watch. She's like Tiffany Pollard from New York, from Flavor of Love.
Yeah. And House of Villains this season.
To be in an actual space with Mary, I would tear her up. If you ever said that I looked inbred,
yeah,
while you have actively married a grandparent, the jokes write themselves.
Right? That is quite the hypocrisy.
Do you want to get into Mary? Because that was really
this was one of the best parts of the episode is Mary Cosby showing up late to Meredith's bat mitzvah. They're going through it. You know, Meredith's about to give her speech to everyone of why she wanted to get, bat mitzvah. It was very moving. But here's Mary showing up, looking in all of the windows. She can't find the door, Mims, and they have those like sun blocker curtains on the window. She's like, what's this brown stuff on the window? And literally my favorite part was when she was peering in and basically, well, this isn't the right one, but she was so low, she got high and then low and like a Where's Waldo, and she was staring at the rabbi's butt at one point. She was butt level to the here it is. Like, so there's the rabbi. Right? And there's and everyone can see her because that's the front of the, and she's like, I just don't, and it seemed like she looked through that window for 8 hours. It was, yes, and it was top tier comedy.
Yeah, she, from the day that she said that woman smelled like hospital.
Yes. Oh,
I love Mary, but I would tear Mary up.
You're right.
I love Mary in this element. She's like Kathy Hilton, who got lost in the curtains.
She is. She's like the Kathy Hilton for Salt Lake City. The comedic relief. Also maybe a little morally corrupt. You know what I mean? Like Kathy Hilton, like. So that totally makes sense. But this was just it just, I don't know if I could watch this for the rest of my life. Then she looked like she put her face on it, licked the window. I was like, just keep walking. Keep walking. And she just, it was so good. Yeah, it does. Yeah, Mary Cosby does comedy better than most comedians. And she just was, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Again, my favorite is just the ass shot that she's staring in. And then Meredith, then she walks in. And instead of like, if you ever went, gotten late to like, probably not, but I'm notoriously late, ADHD, time blindness. Well, I've been late to weddings. I've been late to funerals. Wouldn't you just stand in the back when you're late?
Not
like that
if
late?
You want to show people not if you want to show people your Louis Vuitton, what is it called? A shawl?
Shawl, yeah.
Whatever. No, like when it's called something else when it's fur. I can't think of the name of it, but she definitely wanted people to see that. Was the rabbi an older widowed man? Because maybe Mary is trying to replace Robert.
A woman.
If you said she was looking at his ass.
It was a woman.
Oh.
So maybe, but who knows?
Mary's definitely not on that route.
Yeah, she might not be, but she's in late, and then she's like, excuse me. At first she stands and looks like this, and Meredith's like, I want it for my family. And then Mary's like, excuse me. And she's got to go all the way to the end of the damn row, Mims, and sits down, and it's just the best thing ever, which then takes us into now the bat mitzvah is over, and we go into the party segment, and we see Meredith and Mary with a little bit of a they've made up.
Mhm.
There was some I think this is the first time I've ever heard Mary apologize.
They made up with subpar wine, and Mary had to point that out.
She was like, "Oh, yes, cheers, cheers." She like stuck her tongue out. I'm like, what kind of wine is it?
It's not 2003 Dom Perrier.
Yeah, the one that people died on or something. Why did she say that was good?
That particular year, a lot of people died, and that made it taste good.
That made the grapes more tender and more emotional.
I liked this scene. I believed it. I do think that once Meredith sees that she was called out because her rental is not necessarily in Salt Lake, I think they're gonna beef again because Meredith does not like you to talk about her tub or her rental properties.
Nope. Not at all. But it was one of the few times I've heard Mary Cosby apologize. She did approach her like, no, a real friend has never walked out of my house like that. Never done that before. And Meredith's like, well, you kicked me out of your house. But then they cheers and there's a hug and they end up telling each other, Mims, like, I love you. I love you. I love you.
It was
lots of love.
Right. When you put me out of your house, don't expect me to go back. And if you even suggest that I need to leave, you only need to say it one time. I was with Meredith on that.
Really? See, I was with Mary on that because she said to both Angie and Meredith, like, hey, if you're going to just scream, hold up your phone and play something. And if you don't get it under control, then you can leave. She didn't say you have to leave. She said, hey, respect me, respect my house. I wouldn't do this to you, even though she might.
Even though you absolutely do that to people. Even though you absolutely do that to people. I don't like. Okay, so I don't care. I'm going to just say it. There are certain things that the Housewives do in an effort not to get canceled. I think that a lot of them are scared to say or do something to Mary because she's Black. And they are scared to get canceled, even though Mary is not scared to get canceled. So when you are around somebody like Mary, you have to match their energy. Similar to her saying the whole thing about you look like you're inbred. I would literally tear into her. I would literally. But when somebody talked about her marrying her granddad, that didn't fly. When Jen talked about that, it was like, oh, how dare you? When it's your reality, you did marry your granddad. It doesn't matter what the story is. You were insulted that Jen said the same thing. Like, what are we doing here? I like Meredith and Mary together. I like when Mary farts on Meredith's couch or whatever. It's funny, but they definitely are scared to go toe to toe with her.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility because Mary does. It's almost like they treat it like, oh, Mary, it's just Mary being Mary, but there might be a certain amount of fear that they have.
If Whitney did the same shit to these girls, they would be losing their stuff. And
they drag Whitney.
They would claw her eyes out. Same with Heather. Mary gets a pass, which as a Black person, I'm saying, treat everybody the same. Like everything is not racial. But they did the same thing with Garcelle on Beverly Hills. They were scared. And Garcelle's in everybody's business and does not have to actively tell them hers. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
As a Black person, I can see it when these housewives are like nervous. And you should just be yourself with your friend. Mary is fun as hell. She's funny. And she's going to continue to run circles around you if you are too scared to say something to her. Like, I want somebody to say something to her. Just don't be racist and we're all good. Well,
do you think it has to do with too? Like, I don't think a lot of the housewives in Salt Lake City have a very diverse friend group too. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like, the Heather's friend we're talking about?
I'm talking about Lisa Barlow.
Oh, Lisa Barlow.
She was probably at the Queen's funeral. She's gonna be.
She's been everywhere and done everything.
Made this very child. Yeah, she's. She's one of Oprah's favorite things.
Yes, she was on the list. She was underneath the chairs that one season of Oprah. Like, everybody gets a Lisa Barlow. A lot of people in the chat are saying they believe Mary and Meredith have an authentic friendship. Well, their friendship has been so interesting over the years because they have been so ride or die for each other at the point where you're like, what do they have on each other? You know,
Who,
because
these
it was,
two?
yeah, through the years. I mean, this is the first we've ever seen the cracks in the foundation, but their friendship has always been interesting because they just really, maybe we're not used to housewives really having each other's backs, but there's something about it that seemed a little more nefarious, like there was a little more to it, or maybe it was just like a pact, like these women, when they come for us, we are the ones, we will stick together and we'll at least have one
Mary likes
person
you
on our
if
side.
you have fashion sense.
You what?
I think Mary likes you if you have fashion sense, and that's it.
Then how do you explain Angie K?
She wears a lot of labels.
I think that's true, but it's this. I do love Angie K. I think this is like a breakout season for her rise. And I heard that she was one of the first chairs at the reunion when they filmed it recently. So she went from the 4th chair up to the 1st chair, which is a big deal in Housewives. And I think she's beautiful and she looked great at Mary's party, but she has so many of those. Talk about like when she's talking about porn dresses, she's got it's almost like early Orange County where it's just full boob. You know what I mean? We've seen it so much.
Beating around the bush. Her husband is dressing her. I'm not necessarily. I give people a hard time and whatever. I'm not calling the man gay, but I do know some very successful men who treat their wives like dolls. Think Cordell and Portia. Her husband is dressing her.
You really think Sean is dressing her? I think he's at the gym.
Picking out her clothes. I know this football player who is married. You know, he not, I don't want to say forced, but his wife was a pretty lady and he decided that she should be a dentist. So then he sent her to dental school. She is a very low-key person. All she wanted was some children because she was adopted. He was buying her Gucci purses and all these things and what he thought was the newest in-style thing, like when Birkin was big, you know, like when Birkin was like people didn't have it and you have to have that. You have to have red bottoms. There are a select group of men who dress their wives, and I could definitely see Sean doing that to her and putting a little bit of a battery in her back.
Interesting. I see. Maybe I'm just getting the vibes that he's a little more removed from that, but possibly. I mean, they are in the beauty industry.
Like Mary in that window. Hit her again, baby. Hit her again. I can see
me. Ow. Ow.
Hit her again. In terms of intercourse, they're not having that because the dog and the child is in there. But in terms of an aesthetic, a hairdresser, not calling him gay. I'm just saying like his thing is to make women feel good about themselves.
Look beautiful.
Their aesthetic. So I could definitely see his wife. And that I joke. I don't know that the man is gay. I'm absolutely just playing there. But if we're really talking about it, what was her name? Lisa from Miami? Is it Lisa?
Mm-hmm. Lisa? Yeah. Her
was a walking billboard for her husband. That all came from her husband. I'm not
that would make sense for why we have the low cut cleavage because a man's picking it out, you know, at this point, because we've seen it done so much.
And his masculinity has been questioned. So now you want your wife to be the baddest bee on the block. So I'm gonna have her her hair is always gonna be great. We're gonna get that, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get that, take it up a notch. You're gonna get first seat. I could definitely see that. And I'm not calling him gay. I promise you I'm not.
You're so calling him gay. You're an outer. No, I'm just kidding. Cammie says, I think Angie K seems to be the only one who listens to Mary. I really let me know what you think, Mims, but I really like this relationship that's formed between Mary and Angie K. Mary seems lighter despite having like a very hard season dealing with, you know, her son and the disease of addiction. But it seems like she has more fun with Angie K than she ever did with Meredith. But maybe that's just me not remembering their relationship.
Besties with Whitney at first too.
She's
like run the gambit.
Mm-hmm. But I do like her and Angie K's relationship.
I think that this season is fun. I do think that
it was
fun. Authentic what we saw with Mary dealing with her son. It was extremely sad and it was extremely real. And it's tough. Like when he said he was taking 10 Xanax or what was it, 10 perks?
No, he was taking 30 milligram
Perks.
oxys, I think. And he didn't feel a thing.
Oxy is the closest thing you can get to Coke.
Is it?
OxyContin, yes. I remember this because Kelly, Ozzy's daughter.
Oh, Kelly Osbourne. Mm-hmm.
Was caught. Like that was her drug of choice. And I remember specifically, it was like, it's like a cocaine type high, but you can get it in prescription form. So if he's doing 10 of those, that's absolutely a full-blown addiction.
Yes, that is so scary.
To talk about that and be so vulnerable and real in that moment, I thought that was one of the realest moments we've ever seen on Salt Lake City. And one 100%. Of the few times we've seen Mary's guard truly down.
Yes. Because she's tried to, I feel like, hide so much. And this is the one thing she can't hide. And I have,
so people are saying it's closer to a heroin high, but I'm just going based on what Kelly Osbourne said. It was like, it was like a coke high, but if it's heroin, it's heroin.
Yeah. Either way, horrible. Now let's talk about Angie's like, okay, let the elephant in the room. I got to talk to Bronwyn. She pulls Bronwyn aside to talk. They haven't talked since the Troop Beverly Hills event that they had. And she's like, so and they both think they owe each other apologies. And Bronwyn's like, you think I owe you an apology? You owe me an apology. You tell me to shut the fuck up. Okay. Top tier shade, but you tell me to shut the fuck up multiple times. And Angie's like, okay, well, would it make you feel good if I said sorry?
Horrible.
And Bronwyn shuts that shit down.
Horrible.
And she gets so mad. And she's like, you're not going to talk to me like that. You're the one who said that, what's her face? Brittany was sleeping with 10 guys. And she's like, actually, I said 3 because that's what she said, but okay. And Bronwyn is just like, she's so upset. What did you think of that whole interaction?
I absolutely agree with Bronwyn. Don't ever tell me what would make me feel good, because then that would open the door. What would make me feel good? If your husband touched you one time, and then maybe you would be less mean or arrogant.
So you just go at her. You'd be
I would definitely go at her. Or would make me feel good if you covered your breasts at least one time for one event. Like, you know what I mean? That's not a real apology. I don't know, whatever. I'm just trying to think of what a Salt Lake City person would say as a read.
You're trying to think of like a Salt Lake City white lady read. And I think that was pretty on. I think that they both could have apologized to each other. I think the fact that Bronwyn's coming in with thinking, this is just my opinion, thinking like she's only owed an apology. And it's like, no, you got messy and you threw Whitney and Angie K under the bus to Lisa. And of course they are in turn going to have something to say about that. So you opened up that door when you were, I think you were fine. I know she was fine with Whitney. Whitney was, nice to her as far as I could tell, and Angie K as well. And they were kind of just opening up to Bronwyn, who was having issues with Lisa. And she so quickly flipped the switch and threw them under the bus, particularly Whitney. And then also Angie K with their conversation about Lisa Barlow. And I'm like, Bronwyn is she's just messy to be messy. Like I
think she's unhappy.
Do you think this could be a situation where Bronwyn studied the Housewives beforehand and understands the assignment and is trying to go in and make the most waves and kind of do shit to secure her spot for the future?
Or she could be one of these women who is more subordinate to their spouse, especially the one with money, and gives other women hell. Kind of like Kenya.
Yep.
Kind of like Erica Jane. Kind of like a lot of these people who are submissive in their relationships, but are attack dogs to their cast members.
Yeah, that's what I've said before too. Is I feel like there's a lot of projection. What she should be saying to Todd, or the way she should be acting to Todd, she's acting toward these ladies. And I do think there is a little bit. I'm like, are we seeing like another Erica Jane type? Like, did she take kind of the playbook or something from Erica Jane and what she did coming in? Because Bronwyn's an early favorite, very fashionable, married to an old rich guy. And are there
it's eccentric. It might be expensive.
But so was Erica Jane. She had some
No,
some
Erica was
outfits that were questionable.
Erica definitely was top tier when it came to that because Bronwyn is, I think she wants to be.
Yeah, do you think it's like a try? Like she's trying to, that's what I'm wondering. I'm trying to gauge, because I'm enjoying everyone this season, but I am kind of the last 2 episodes I've been side-eyeing Bronwyn and I'm like, is she doing this? Is this like authentically her, or is this a character she's created to appear a certain way in the Housewives world,
Where is
taking
she
like,
at the reunion? Is she second seat?
I don't know. Let me see if I know I have the chart.
If Bronwyn is like a second seater in her first season, then it succeeded. And I think the real issue between Lisa is the fact that Bronwyn has main character energy, and that's not what Lisa wanted. I think that's what her issue is. I think that's what Lisa's issue is with Bronwyn.
She is actually 3rd seat.
3rd is not bad considering Whitney is an original, and who's the other 4th seed?
So it goes on Andy's left side. We have Angie K. We have Mary Cosby. We have Bronwyn. Then we have Whitney. And then on the right side, we have Lisa. And then we have Heather, Meredith, and then Brittany.
Heather should have been, well, I'm sorry, Brittany and Meredith could have tied for 4th seed. Meredith, no, sorry. I feel like Heather could go at this point. Her fight with Bronwyn, the fact that you are a original cast member and you were disinvited on a cast trip and they still went without you, you could go. You can go. Am I lying? There's no way that Heather deserves 2nd seat.
No, I don't think she deserves 2nd seat, but I've been very critical of like, why is Heather coming so hard at Bronwyn from the jump? It's like Bronwyn appears to really want to be her friend, but these last 2 episodes, and I want to get your thoughts on this. I'm like, maybe Heather is seeing something in Bronwyn that's coming off disingenuous, and so that put her guard up. Now,
and she saw this with the eye that Jen Shaw punched her in.
I mean, that's my argument. In the early episodes of the season, I'm like, okay, whatever, Heather, you caped for Jen Shaw for so long.
In the face.
And defrauded the elderly. And now, but maybe
never tell me shit about anything. The first thing I would say is, did your eye heal? Like, what are we doing?
And tell us the whole story already. Gee, did we ever get the whole story? She punched you, but how did it go down?
I mean, yeah, Heather could, I don't know. I think when she said that being skinny is much better than that, she lied about her body positivity, I was pretty much done. I was done.
You're like inauthentic then to you.
To talk about if the topic is inauthenticity, what's more inauthentic than screaming to the rooftops that you are body positive and you're happy with yourself, and then the minute you lose the weight, you say, yeah, being fat sucks. That is inauthentic.
That's like Lizzo doing that now.
So when you're talking about receipts and timeline, and you waited till Jen Shaw was in prison to acknowledge that she had assaulted you, sit down, Heather.
And you protected her. I 100% agree with what you're saying regarding that. What I will say in Heather's defense is I feel like we built up this culture of like body positivity. Yeah. And I started to believe, I was like, hell yeah, I'm just going to lean into this. I got a fupa joke and stuff. And then all of a sudden Ozempic came around. They're like, never mind, don't be fat, bitches. And body positivity went out the door for everybody. So the whole body positivity movement, I feel like, was halted once we discovered semaglutides and that it was attainable to everybody. And everyone started getting skinny. It's like, well, how the fuck am I going to be the only one out here body positive and everyone else is? Because let me show you here's what Heather used to. I saw these 2 pictures and I was like, oh my God. So how am I, if everyone out there is a stick figure from, these shots and stuff, and now I got to be out here just loving my fupa. So here's Heather before, right?
I liked her.
Body positive.
I liked
100%.
One. I loved Heather. I thought Heather was going to be the main character.
Well, yeah. And she was I feel the first couple of seasons, people really rooted for her as like a woman people could relate to. And then this is her now.
Was that at Bravo? Was that at Fan? Yes, I did see her at
because you were there, right, in Miami.
I did see her at Fan Fest.
So it's, I mean, but this is the way of the world is kind of going. So I kind of see where, okay, it sucks because
Well,
she was all on body
that's
positivity. And I
tough.
hate that she's like kind of fat shaming herself
You're shitting on
now.
it. No, you're shitting on the other women who did, or men or whomever, who feel good about themselves and like, I am who I am. Just because you lose weight does not mean that the body positivity, what would you call that? The body positivity
Movement,
movement,
mantra,
thank you,
idea.
is trash. It just means that you chose to leave it, and you could be body positive about being thin. When she said being fat sucks and all that kind of stuff, it was like, so you didn't even believe that you
I
were
don't think
worth
she ever believed.
whatever.
I don't think she did. And I think for women in general, as much as we would love to just embrace ourselves the way we are, society makes it almost impossible to do that. So you might want to believe that and you might hope for that, but ultimately we're still at a place where women are so criticized. I saw I posted something in my stories where this guy was like thinking about how dad bods are in, but yet women are the ones that actually have the babies and mom bods aren't. You know what I mean? We don't celebrate mom bods, but we're celebrating dad bods, and they don't even got to carry a baby. They don't even have the big hormonal changes that women.
Then you have that authentic conversation.
Yeah.
You don't shit on the movement that you were just a part of. That's the only thing that I'm saying. If
No,
she
I
had
agree.
those things that you just said so eloquently, I would get it. Or, maybe if she always said, when I was bigger, I never felt great about myself, but to like literally shit on the movement was like, and I liked that Heather. I
Yeah.
liked Monique when she was thicker. I like people who are just happy with who they are. And if you're happy with who you are and you're bone thin, great. If you're happy with who you are and you are obese, great. As long as you are happy.
Mm-hmm.
To say that it's all like a lie, I just was like, okay, here we go.
Taken aback. Yeah. When she did that interview, it was like, oh, okay, so you never really were happy where you were at, which I get as a woman, but you did kind of put it out there that you were, and people look to you for that. And now you're just like, oh no.
I really do feel like some of these people should employ me to write their reads. Heather should have employed me with her image, and I would have said, don't change a damn thing. When Heather was on her first season, and you have all of these Ozempic Barbie dolls. I know Ozempic wasn't like really, but you know what I mean? You had all of these like bone thin women in these sample sizes. Heather stood out because Heather was funny and Heather was authentically herself. If she had gotten from under Jen Shaw's bush long enough to see it, you were fan favorite. You were fan favorite.
She was, remember the first BravoCon, people were just like fawning over her at the Salt Lake City, whatever, the panel. And just women were standing up and being like, Heather, I think she cried because they were just like, you mean so much. Yeah, I see myself in you.
That was it. Heather missed her mark in order to get like everybody else. I'm sorry. She missed it. She had it. I thought she was so funny. She was giving BJs outside to the videographer from Jen's party. She was going and getting the meatball lollipops and was like, I'm gonna eat. I love that. And I guarantee you more Bravo fans look like Heather than they look like Joanna Krupa or the girls from Miami who have 0% body fat.
Dorit's and very small.
You need to see yourself in some of these people. She's successful. She's a single mom. All of these things are great points for people to gravitate towards you. Now you have the veneers. We're getting, the facial work and stuff like that. But you think that you are your best self, and we liked you as is season 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's that the Heather Gay fall from grace in Salt Lake City was pretty. It should be studied. It was like she dropped the bag. Like she really had people believing in her. And, you know, people want to cheer for her because these other women are calling her Shrek. I mean, they're body shaming her left and right. So I understand where her insecurity comes from. That must be so difficult to be on television, have your coworkers fat shaming you, have the
Shrek because of your face, not because
fat
of your
shaming you.
It was your face. She has
Yeah, but Shrek got a big body too.
Okay. Artists, I hope that we have provided you some comedic relief.
Artists, we love you. Let's not lie. Shrek is a big back.
Who called her Shrek?
I think it was Jen or Lisa Barlow. For sure, Jen. You know Jen. She's so mean-spirited.
Shrek is a good housewife read. That's a good
That's not a good one. That would break my heart.
Good in terms of bad, right? Like, we're not going up for Phaedra because Phaedra talking about Kenya's inability to produce a child is funny. It's like one of those things that is so nasty and there's so much vitriol in it, but you remember it. Reads aren't supposed to make you feel great about yourself.
That's true. That's true. You're not supposed to. Especially, well, coming from your friends, quote unquote friend, and now these chicks are talking like, they're like, would you rather have Monica back or Jen Shaw? They're like, Jen Shaw. And some of them are saying they talked to Jen Shaw. I'm like, are we forgetting how evil Jen Shaw is?
If Jen called me Shrek, I would say your daily Halloween costume is the mask from Jim Carrey. That, I mean, you could like really get her back. And then you could tell the producers to show how Jen's face was like mask-like because she had so much filler. She had this huge face and this tiny body.
So that would be Shrek. If you're saying it's a big face, she's got a big face too. So she's Shrek too.
I would just call her some, the Catwoman or something. Jocelyn.
Or like Angie K said about Meredith last season. She's like, you're a trampoline with eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you just jab them back. I could see as being a plus size person, being called Shrek on national TV could be hurtful, and I get all those things. I'm just saying Heather had it, and Heather let Jen F it up for her.
Yeah, she really did. So there was so Todd intervenes.
Not Heather was full size like old Nene. Yeah.
Well, I think similar to Nene and similar to myself, I always say I'm built like a farm girl. Like I have shoulders, like I look like I can carry shit, and I'm just built. I have bigger bones. So if I'm tiny, it's not going to look right. I'm supposed to be, and I think Nene, she's tall. She's kind of got like, her frame. And I think similar to Heather, her frame, it fit her.
Please don't ever call me full size. That's a read in itself.
Full size. It's an extra large. But Todd comes over and intervenes. And what did you think of Todd coming into the Bronwyn and Angie K fight? And he's like, okay, I think and she's like, hey, she's calling me a liar, Todd. And then he's like, okay, maybe we need a break. Can I get you a drink, Angie? And then she's like, you're not gonna buy someone a drink, Todd. I was actually like, okay, Bronwyn finally saying something back to the Todd father. And Angie was like, Todd, you're a great guy. You're great. You're the better half. Yeah, your better half is here, Bronwyn. And then they proceed to go over to the bar and have this totally uncomfortable conversation in front of the friend of Mealy, who he taps and goes, excuse us. Like you're at a public event and this lady's got to leave so that you can scold your wife. What do you think about Todd's involvement in this? It seems like this season he's trying to regulate how Bronwyn reacts. And it's like, you realize she's on the Housewives, right, sir?
I feel like, again, I think this was Bronwyn's thing. I don't think this was Todd. I think if you are his age and you are wanting more of a trophy wife, somebody that you can kind of like control, what Bronwyn is doing on television kind of puts a crack in the glass.
Yeah, it
so
does.
I think he's trying to almost critique her and correct her in real time because his thought process is, well, this is television and, I'm still Todd, George Lucas-esque, and I have a image to uphold. You get what I'm saying? Like I could see what he's attempting to do and why he's attempting to do it, but this might be Bronwyn's ticket for some form of freedom. If she got with him years ago and he was able to say, I'm going to control the purse strings and you're going to behave this way, I could see, I feel like this is a crack in their marriage.
It is a crack. I think he just, whatever shine Bronwyn has, and she does have a shine, I feel like he dims it. Every time he comes over with his Krabby Patty self being like, meh. Now in this case, I thought his approach was a little better than we've seen in other episodes, but then still they go over to the bar and he's like, I was trying to, and she's like, I know. It just, and he's like, why didn't you walk away? You could have walked away. And she's like, and he's scolding her like he's her daddy. And I get it's a transactional marriage. You have the older rich guy, but it's just,
and
it's so annoying. 40,
although this is a hard 39. This is a hard 39 with this picture that you chose. I'm
telling you, the lighting in this episode was not good for anyone. Whoever did the lighting, the editing was on point, gorgeous, but the lighting was hard for everyone. I would have hated to be in this lighting.
Joleen, I just feel like Bronwyn this is her renaissance. This is her getting to do something where she has her own money. She has her own shine, and she lives this great, fabulous life. But part of it is, if he is really controlling her, she's not fully happy. But now it's like a resurgence. Like, well, now everybody gets to see how great that I live. And I'm just going to make fun of the fact that he's, 2 days from diapers. That's okay, because look at this. I can put a $4 million necklace on a dog. You know what I mean? Like, that's my life. So I think this is her renaissance. I hope, like a lot of these women who are in these relationships that are extremely transactional, because it's a difference between if you're dating somebody who makes a couple $100,000 a year and you're in a transactional relationship, or you're dating somebody who's worth 40 or 50 million, or however much he's worth.
Yeah.
There's a difference. I hope that this gives her more freedom to say and do what she wants. Because at the end of the day, you don't have a prenup. So if you want to get the hell out of there before the diapers come, then go for it.
Yeah, and I think the diapers are already there, because I feel like he just looks like he just shit his pants every scene he's in. He's like, he's just crabby, Lucy says Todd was less scolding this time. I'll allow it, because it actually did seem like he was trying to help her. Yes, recalibrate. In that moment, it was like, okay, I could see that as a husband, just being like, all right, maybe we should take a break. Like, it's getting kind of heated. I want to make sure you're okay. But then once they got to the bar, and I noticed it was quick, but he did this thing when they were kind of going back and forth at the bar, and he said, well, I'm just going to leave. And I'm like, sir, you are way too big in age to be like, I'll just leave then, to be kind of taking your toys and going home. Ultimately, he does stay. But some people also picked up on the switch that Bronwyn did so quickly from talking, being in this fight with Angie, to then being in this argument with her husband, to then to the bartender, like, hi, sorry you had to see that. It's kind of horrible, right? Top shade, whatever I'm saying, top tier shade. But yeah, and the switch. But I'm like, if she has been married to this man long enough, and this is what she has to deal with, she's probably used to having to like, oh no, everything's fine, everything's okay, and switch it.
I don't understand why people don't understand this. Whether you're with a broke person or you're with a rich person, a broke person might be like, I want kids. I want a family. I want to, eventually buy a home. I want that. If you are one of these rich people and your dream girl is Bronwyn with her original nose, and you want to pull her into the world, there is a price. We've seen this now. Cassie was living what we thought was the most glamorous life ever. There's a price. And the price that she paid for her youth was probably to live how he wanted her to live. And she was okay with paying that price, because most people will never know what it's like to live in 8 different cities concurrently.
Are you talking about Bronwyn?
Yeah. Most people are willing to pay that price, and Bronwyn paid it.
Well, it's an Erica Jane situation. It's like, it's a transactional relationship that we see time and time again. The man has the money.
He was dating like the for real crypt keeper. Tom was already. I'm not age shaming. People are going to think I'm age shaming.
No, he's too old for her. Okay, Tom was way too old for her. And it's a transactional thing. It's like the man provides the money. It's this classic, kind of Hollywood entertainment relationship. And the woman or rich man, I think, relationship, and the woman provides the youth and the beauty. Well, eventually one or both of those things will go away. The woman inevitably will age, and a lot of times these men get their money through corrupt ways, and then the money goes. So the relationships usually are never long lasting, or as you would think a traditional marriage, maybe there's an agreement, then we're going to stay married because I don't want to give you half of my shit, but I get to go now see younger chicks and you could just do whatever you want. But it is transactional, when you
look at Gordon, he's impotent. Mia is the embodiment of a phallic symbol to him. He doesn't have a working D, but he has Mia on his arm. Sorry, I mean, is that too on the nose?
I mean, that's just, that's what it is, unfortunately. So we're kind of seeing this. You what?
Mia and her big feet.
Mia and her, what size are her feet?
They were large.
As a big-footed woman myself?
No, they were large. Like, they were like my size.
Like Paris Hilton? I think she's like an 11, 12. Yeah. Oh, look at you with the big feet. You just wanted a reason to bring up your big feet. I know what you're doing.
That's you. You want to bring up your feet. Y'all think that it's a joke. Joleen has been marketing her feet since I've known her. So when we find out on the back end that Joleen has one of these foot fetish sites,
you'll never know. If I have a mansion and I'm starting driving a Range Rover, I guess. Yeah, I found this picture.
I like her original nose. I think it fits her face.
As someone who doesn't have her original nose myself, I think, but when it's you, it's like I don't think it's bad either. But for me, I had kind of a longer nose, but I had a bump, and so.
Are you on your third though, like Nene and Bronwyn?
No, I'm just on my first nose job. That's probably the only one I'm ever going to get unless I have issues with breathing or something. But it actually helped my breathing. But I could see where you would get lost in the nose job because it's your nose, your ears, and your nails are never stop growing.
Is Todd on Ozempic too?
He does look a little smaller now, huh? The Todd father, comparatively.
A little bit. Grouchier.
A little bit. Yeah, he's just older, grouchier than
Bill Cosby. Mr. Rogers' sweater is taking me somewhere.
Right? And as he was filming this scene, there was dog shit in the background on the patio.
There are a lot. I tell Joleen she lives like a rich person because rich people, like the more money they get, they just get more animals.
But like, only thing is, I'm not a rich person.
The more money rich people get is like, wait, so you're on your 8th Chihuahua?
I just really like rescuing dogs and animals and giving them a home. I can't say no to a baby in need. It's really hard. But
I really gotta go though. I'm sorry. I've been so rude.
No worries. Do you have to take off right now? Because if you got a dip, it's fine. I can finish it up.
Yeah, no, I really do have. I completely forgot. It's nothing but it's Scotty and friends. Scotty by nature and his friends. I told them I would. They said they've already ordered. Okay, I'm being super rude. This was very fun.
So fun, Mimsy.
Thank you for.
We love you. Everybody go and
Bronwyn picture.
Bronwyn, her original nose.
No, the one from her at the charity event.
Okay,
I'm not the charity event. Sorry,
the B-Mitzvah.
Let me go back there.
Mims is like, I think it was a charity event. People all showed up. I'm trying to find the. Here's one.
No, not that one. The other one that you have.
Oh, when it's just her.
Yeah, show me that one.
Okay. Oh, here's another. Here's like this.
Perfect. That one right there. Mm-hmm. I'm going to clip this out and send it to Bronwyn in hopes that she responds to you for posting this photo of her.
Don't you dare.
I absolutely am.
I do not want any of these households on my ass.
Absolutely am. You're going to be the next Up and Adam.
This is I don't want to be involved in it.
Really, this is I told you not to use this photo. Why would you do that?
If you do this to me, oh my
God. And then you're laughing.
I don't think she looks bad in this.
And then you're laughing. So I'm going to clip out that part where I just said, Joleen, I told you not to do this, and you laugh. And I'm going to send that to Bronwyn.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Mims had to leave. It was so just abruptly. He had to log off. It was so crazy. I never want to be mentioned on a Housewives show. I don't want to be in any of the drama. I just want to give comedy and commentary. I don't want to give anyone any real tea. No.
This is like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way this woman is 39 in this photo.
I'm trying to remember what I look like at 39.
Bronwyn is a pretty woman. Let me just start there.
Yes.
Bronwyn is a very pretty lady. I just think that sometimes when your demeanor is so anal.
Yes. It's that tight demeanor.
Uptight.
It's Heather Dubrow.
She's witty on the show, but how does she treat the maids? That's I'll end with this story.
Stop to your shade, Mims. Stop to you.
I was shopping. I think I took a photo of her. I was shopping the other day, and I kid you not, it was like I saw a ghost. It took me right back to being 19 years old, working at that grocery store. And there was this lady. She's extremely pale. She walks with an umbrella, so I don't know if there's like a condition there. She always has a Mercedes S-Class, and she was always super nice to me and tipped me really well to take her groceries out. Okay. It wasn't until that same lady saw me at Louis Vuitton and did not want to wait. And her expectation, she had no idea that I was the same guy who had sacked her groceries. She saw me at Louis Vuitton in a Saks, and I kid you not, she did not want to wait behind me. So she was extremely lovely to me as, I guess, the help.
Okay.
But in a situation where she was behind me shopping for Christmas stuff,
she didn't feel like you're on the same level. She should be ahead of you.
She didn't even recognize me because I guess she can be so nice and personable when you're the help. Yeah. You're almost like, oh, thank you so much. But really, it's like any of the housewives to the waiters and waitresses. Oh, thank you so much. But like, you're not like a person. I'm here with the person.
Well, that was what Bethany used to say about Ramona is like, you don't even know my assistant's name. And she's talked to you. She's whatever. And she's like, I'm nice to her. And she's like, you don't. So it could be just that like, and then, but they're not really like a person.
And at 19, I really thought, oh, wow, this lady is so nice or whatever. Had no idea who I was. At that point, she just felt like she should not have to wait in line at the store. And who am I to be in front of? Like, it was crazy. Like, I lit my, like, the person at the store who I saw, I was startled. And he was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I feel like I just saw a ghost. And he was like, oh, she's here all the time. I'm like, I'm sure she's there all the time. This lady, like, I worked at an upscale grocery store. So her stuff was like rack of lambs, tipping you like $20, $30 to take her groceries out. Like, she probably has some super, super rich. She's probably like an heiress.
Yeah.
And she was super nice when I was the help. And she was not super nice.
Was it around the same time that you were still working at the grocery store? Because how much money were you making to be in Louis Vuitton at 19?
No, I'm an adult. This was
okay.
This was like 4 or 5 years ago. And I
was like, damn, I want that grocery store job.
I was so excited to see her. Like, you know, it was like a blast from my past. This was my first job, like in college. And she'd been so nice to me when I was the help. It's totally different when you're not the help.
When you're not doing something for her.
Yeah, oh, here you go. Oh, I want you to have a Merry Christmas. We saw each other every week. She only shopped at this upscale grocery store. Like, this was like a couple years of my life. But in the real world, who are you to be in front of me?
Damn.
It was crazy.
That is crazy.
Let me see. Hold on.
No, you took a picture of her.
Yeah, I was like, I have to, like, this is crazy. I sent it to my sister and I was like, she still scares me. I had never experienced somebody being so rude to me for because I'm in front of you. And I'm the person where I would usually just like let somebody, skip if you had somewhere to go. And, I didn't, but.
Yeah, I have that. I learned that from Nana when someone only has, if you're in line, now I'm talking Target, not Louis Vuitton, and they only have a couple things, you got a cart full, they're like, go ahead of me. Sometimes me and Nana will be in Target and I'm like, we're never getting out of here because Nana's like, you go ahead. You go ahead. What do you got there? 4 items. Oh, okay, we got 6. You go ahead. So I know that kind of kindness, but I don't know what
People
this
don't really
lady's
get,
doing.
like, people don't really like get Louis Vuitton gifts from me, but I think my mom was like turning like a big birthday.
Oh, like my 45th coming up, that could have a Louis Vuitton birthday present from one of her bestest friends, Mims.
I'm gonna go to Marshall's as soon as I leave, and if I it is yours, buddy.
I do love Marshalls. I'll settle for a Coach. Yeah,
No,
I'm not.
I think my mom was turning like, it was like a big one, like maybe 70 or something, and I had saved up.
Oh, that's so cute.
Now she's not getting anything else in life. But
I bought Nana a Kate Spade, and you would have thought I bought her a house. She was like, "You can't." I was like, "I can. We can do the Kate Spade outlet." And now she's like, "Oh, I got my fancy purse, my Kate Spade." So I can't even imagine if I give her Louis Vuitton. I don't even know what she would do. I feel like it would kill her. You know? Yeah, I'm married. Hint, hint. Hint, hint, you guys. Susan says we could get it for you on Canal Street in New York. Yes, I've stayed in New York before. I don't know where. I think I was in like Chinatown or something. And every day there was a woman who approached me about these purses. And I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
every day?
Yeah, every day I'd walk by. She was like, oh, sure you don't want this purse? I'm like, it does look nice, but no.
Was it like real leather, or was it like a knockoff of everything?
I went there for comedy shows, and I mean, I like to go like discover the city and drink boba and eat crepes and things. I'm not fancy. I don't go there for like fancy shopping. You know, I'm still just
this?
like, I want to run around.
I don't just go to Louis Vuitton to shop. So this was something that I priced out. I knew how much the tax was.
It was a big deal.
It was a big deal. And to be like denigrated, to be like it felt like my money spent the same way as it felt bad to have somebody like do that. It was a big moment for me to be able to like do something like that for my mom. And I'm just excited. And then all of a sudden I wasn't so excited. You know, like
I feel like there's so many housewives that would act that way, unfortunately.
Like, do you know who I am? You know, like,
yeah. You didn't deserve that, Mims. And I think that's so sweet that you saved up for your mom so she could get a Louis Vuitton. Now I feel like I only gave Nana a Kate Spade. Maybe I should upgrade to a Coach for Nana.
No, I'm not gonna go there.
Well, Nana did do
nobody in my family's getting anything from me anymore. They're getting $20 scratch offs. It's not a joke. It's not a game.
I love giving scratch offs. I do that all the time. I bring that to my family because they love it. I brought that to a friend's house last year, and she was like, scratch offs. I'm like, it's a thing. It's a Midwestern thing, I felt like, but maybe it's an all over thing.
Midwest, but I've been asking for scratch offs my entire life. And what do I get? Humidifiers. Or vitamins. I heard that you got that fatty liver. I get like vitamins and stuff like that.
Oh my god! You know, you'll think this is funny. Nana used to go to bingo, but it was bingo where you could win Coach bags, and she won a couple, and she was so proud of that. And it was so cute. Like her and her friends would be like, "Oh, cute purse. Where'd you get that?" Like, bingo. We got it at bingo. It's Coach purse bingo. And then she ended up giving me like a little like wristlet that she won. Married in the Island says, aren't Kate Spade and Coach the same level? Not really. Coach is more expensive. Every time I go into Coach, it's way more expensive than Kate Spade. There is a Kate Spade out here. We got an outlet mall, and Kate Spade is far. They always seem to have like an 80% off sale or something. Where Coach, you go in and a similar purse. I remember I got like a faux fur tote, and I wanted this one at Coach, but it was like 2-3 times the price of the one at Kate Spade. The one at Kate Spade I got for like under $200. And Coach is like $599, $600. And I'm like, what? So I think Coach, maybe it's, I don't know if it's everywhere, but out here, the Kate Spade, far more affordable. Yes, designer bag bingo. What'd you say?
I like Coach.
Me too.
One of the first nice things I bought for my grandmother was this lady had this little thing where you squeeze the sides and your keys come out of it.
Oh.
and she kept
Oh
this
yes, those
old
little purse.
crusty thing. It would always be like right there in her broad breast, whatever area.
Her girl
And
breast.
I saved up and I got her the Coach version, and she was like, "Oh, I love it." Never used it. Never in her life used it.
I wonder if she felt like it's just like, what am I going to use it for? It's so fancy. I feel like my mom would say that.
Maybe, but I think when she passed away, it was like still new in the box. She
Aw.
liked her old crusty cracked one.
I mean, that's the truth. I always try to get Nana like new wallets, and all her purses have like pen marks in them because she always has a pen because she carries her checkbook in there, and she balances her checkbook, and so she has open pens. So if you open up her wallet or her purse, there's just like pen marks on the inside of her bags. And she's like, "I love this purse." I'm like, "Oh, Nana."
I'm mad at myself. I do not see this photo. I'm going to send you this photo so you can show these people once I find it. That lady.
We can't dox her though.
Is it doxing? I just got her from the back.
Oh, from the back. Okay. It's just your butt, lady. It's just your booty.
If you know her, you would know her because she only wears all black.
Oh, dressed in all black like the Omen. Got it. Okay.
Definitely the Omen. I'm going to find the photo. Anyway, I got to run. I'm super late. Thank you for having me.
Thank you,
This was
Mims.
awesome.
Yes. Come back soon and we can just chat about anything because I liked our earlier conversation.
I told Joleen an hour. I knew that with my history with Joleen, it was not going to be an hour.
I'm lovable and I'm very fun and comfy, and people just want to stay forever. I get it. I get it.
Nobody ever identified me as fun and comfy. I feel like you're calling me a couch.
I love couches. Please always identify me as fun and comfy. Bye, Mims.
Bye.
We love you. Oh my gosh. You guys, make sure if you're not already subscribed to Mims, we dropped the link in the description. Let's get him to his goal. He's only, I think, less than 20 away. And we're already almost at 2 hours, but we want to wrap up this episode. And I'm also going to, on my other channel, Sipping Key with the wonderful Busy Blue, we're going to be talking about this episode because there's so much to unpack with the season of Salt Lake City. I feel like there's never enough. Okay. So we have this, we talked about the Angie K situation with Bronwyn and the Todd father. And now we have, more fights erupting. And that is with, now that it's been talked about again with Brittany and Angie K, and Brittany claiming that Angie K said that, she is somehow a sleut, that Brittany's a sleut and she's with all these guys. And Angie K's like, no, I'm just literally saying what you told us. You told us that you're going on dates with all these guys. And you were seeing like 3 different guys, and somehow the number changed to 10. And I don't know, did I miss it? But I don't remember Angie K ever saying she's sleeping with 10 guys. Maybe I don't remember her saying that, but maybe I just didn't hear it. And really this all stems from Brittany being what Mary Cosby would say is two-faced regarding the wine. She invited Angie K over to her house for a nice little Bible study type Mormon get together, and Angie K, not being a Mormon and having seen that Brittany drinks, brought her wine. You bring a gift to someone's house, and Brittany acted like it was fine, text Angie K and said, oh my God, me and Jared drank the wine, Jared Osmond. Oh, we loved it. Thank you. But then at Mary Cosby's party, it was somehow a problem. And she wanted to call Angie out. And Angie's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You drink though. She's like, yeah, but not there. And it's like, well, listen, if you're living a secret double life, it's either you're all in Mormon or you're like the half Mormon, like Lisa Barlow, and you just own it. At this point, you are 50 some years old or 40 some years old. You can't expect other people to hide who you really are. All right. Also, you're on a TV show, so people are going to see you drink. So all the Bible study people, if they want to get a look at who you're sleeping with, who you're dating, what's going on, and what you're drinking, they're going to all they have to do is watch an episode. Okay. Yay, Mims is 9 people away from 200,000. You guys, 9 people. He just needs 9 people from this stream who are not already subscribed to Mims. Please go over there so he can hit his goal. So when he goes live today, he can celebrate that, and his celebration live can come very, very soon. So it was ridiculous, but Bronwyn is stirring the pot. So now she's mad at Lisa. So then she has this brief little amends, I guess, that she makes with Brittany, and Brittany is thrilled. She's like, "Oh, yay, Bronwyn, we're finally friends. That's so cool. It's so awesome." When in reality, Bronwyn's like, "We're not really friends. It's just, I'll talk shit about Angie K with you." And within minutes, she turns on Brittany and throws her under the bus and continues to just be so messy. And let's see, graphics says, Joleen, did you get? Yes, I got my box. And I'm gonna open it up very soon and show everybody what's inside. But I'm sitting here on gifts that I have to open. So thank you, graphics. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to open it. Yay! Thank you, Rob. So now we get 8 people to get Mims to his goal. All right, let's get him. Let's get him to 200,000. That's amazing. We're just trying to get to 50,000. This man is getting to 200,000. It's fantastic. So they have this little moment. They take a selfie. Mealy's there again, the friend of that we never ever see. And then we get an interaction with Angie K, and Angie telling Brittany, like, I think they were all over there. Let me just double check. I think they were all at the table, and then Angie K heads over there, and the conversation turns to Bronwyn throwing Brittany under the bus and saying, well, she's saying, you slut shamed her, but she slut shamed you. I think I have a screenshot of that here, where quickly she's like, I'm going to out what you said at the beginning of this party about Angie K. And the reason Angie K is saying that you are with 3 different guys is because that's what you and Sean do. Only Bronwyn doesn't really deliver the message, similar to what Whitney's saying, in the way that it was said. So I didn't feel like when Brittany said that outside as we were doing our watch party, I thought, oh shit, Angie K, once she hears about this, she is not going to like that you mentioned her husband and you mentioned them having like 3-ways or with other guys. She's not going to like that at all. But Bronwyn almost made it seem like Brittany was going to do something with this information. And I feel like that was just her comeback in the conversation she was having with Bronwyn and Mealy. Does that make sense, you guys? That's how I took it. But Bronwyn was like, well, kind of like, well, I had to tell her because you're gonna. And I'm like, I don't think she ever said there was no action she was going to be taking other than saying this, So, oh, I heard a pop. Oh, what? Who do we have back here? Hold on. Let me see. Someone is here. Hold on. Let me figure out what I'm doing here. Mimsy, you're back.
I'm back. So I have hit 200,000. Thank you guys. I really want to say thank you.
Mims, that is so fucking amazing. How do you feel?
It hurts me out, but I don't even have words.
And you put your Adidas on to celebrate.
So 2 things. I got Adidas from Joleen. I never wore Adidas before YouTube.
I'm an influencer.
You and Up and Adam, actually, because it would either be Adidas or it would be a black t-shirt.
Yeah.
Literally. I'm not afraid to say when I get stuff from other content creators.
Mims, I am so freaking proud of you. That is a huge accomplishment.
So I'm going to share it after we're over because I really do have to go. But I'm
going to cry for you. I'm so excited for you. Maybe I'm like perimenopausal, but I feel really excited for you, friend.
Well, you still have a much more youthful energy than Bronwyn.
Keep giving me the compliments. Top tier shade.
I do have to go, but thank you guys for subscribing. I appreciate it. I really appreciate Joleen. I'm not afraid to say Joleen and Busy were a major influence for me and my channel. So thank you. Even having me up, I wasn't accustomed to being on large channels. So having me up
from the jump.
Oh Lord. Now they're like, how far are you? Share your location. I gotta run.
Bye, Mims. I'm so happy for you. Call me later. Call me later.
Okay, have a good one.
Yay. That is so freaking exciting. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. And obviously, you won't regret to subbing to Mims because he's killing the gang. But I'm so happy for him. Like 200,000, that's life-changing. That's huge. I mean, and he's already, I wonder if he got his plaque yet. I haven't even asked him because when you hit 100,000, you get the plaque. And I think there's another plaque, like maybe when you hit 1 million or 500,000. That is so cool. Yay. And I inspired his Adidas. Love it. Love it. Yay, Mims. Congratulations. That's so cool. I love it. Because I literally remember Mims was just in our Sip and Key chats and we just loved him. And he was a subscriber. But we would have him up and he was pretty like natural and cool and obviously attractive and all the good stuff. And then when he started his own channel, he just worked so hard and really put in the work and he just skyrocketed into, success. And so it's so fun to see like your friends achieve those things. I feel like a YouTube mommy. Okay. Cami says, so cool that Mims hit 200 while here. And you guys helped make that happen. That is amazing. Congrats to one of my favorite Mimsy. Okay. Eventually we will get through this Housewives roasted recap, but they're just more important things like Mims hitting 200,000 or us talking about anything else at times. So I feel like weirdly emotional for Mims. What is going on with me? But hey, there you go. And I'm an Aquarius, so I don't always have feelings, so this is nice. This is very nice. Okay. So we have this Angie K and Brittany situation, but what happens before this is Heather and Whitney's conversation. So Whitney goes over to Heather and she's like, Heather, I didn't throw you under I didn't say, that's not the extent of what I said. And what I do like about Heather in this conversation is she's like, listen, I don't care, Whitney. We've already said enough to each other. I feel like there was some like self-awareness and some empathy for Whitney and the situation from Bronwyn kind of throwing her under the bus. And we know that Heather has enjoyed going after Whitney, and Whitney and Heather have had a hard time as of late in their relationship. But I like that Heather isn't making this a huge deal because Heather talks so much shit behind Whitney's back. Whitney talks shit behind her back, and they feel like they've come to a point where no new person is going to come in. I know how you feel. You know how I feel. We're both kind of in the wrong. So I thought I liked Heather's perspective when it came to this. And then Lisa Barlow comes over, and Lisa Barlow is like, what's going on? They had already come to an agreement. And she's like, Whitney, you're a liar. You're lying. And she's like, I'm not lying. Bronwyn said, that's not exactly how it and then they're in a whole thing. And she's like, you're a liar, Whitney. You lie. You don't even drink a lot of Diet Coke. You're such a liar. When he's like, I'm not a liar. I seriously am not a liar. This is ridiculous. So that happens before we then see Brittany versus Angie K. And oh shit. Oh my God, I'm late for my meeting, you guys. I have a meeting too. How could I forget? Okay. Hold on one second. Hey, Kim. Oh my gosh, I'm ridiculous, you guys. I'm so sorry. We'll have to finish this. I forgot I have a meeting with my managers. So right now, but you guys are wonderful, beautiful pumpkin spice babies. Hit that like. Thank you for subscribing to Mims. Congrats to Mims for hitting 200K. We're on the road to 50K. All is good in the world, but I'll be back tomorrow for sure, maybe even later today. Sorry for the poor time management. I love you guys. Leave a comment, hit the like. Always enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Bye.
If you like what you see.